right time to take a fast train. Lonely days are gone, I'm a going home. Oh, my baby used to whip me a leather. Oh, my baby used to whip me a leather.
I want her, I need her, and someday, somewhere, whoa, I'll meet her. She'll be kinda shy and real good looking too, and I'll be certain she's my girl by the things she'll like to do, like walking in the rain and wishing on the stars up above and being so in love. When she's near me, I'll kiss her, and when she leaves me, whoa, I'll miss her. Though sometimes we'll fight, I won't really care. I know she's gonna be alright, 'cause we got so much to share. Like walking in the rain and wishing on the stars up above and being so in love. No, no, she'll never do. No, it isn't her to. They would never, no, they'd never, never, ever love. Walking in the rain and wishing on the stars, or being so in love. Walking in the
WDJO Cincinnati.
The following is a paid program. Its views and opinions are not necessarily those of this station or its management.
Good morning, and welcome to the Rock and Roll Real Estate Hour starring Gary Rossignol of RE/MAX Preferred Group. To be part of the program, dial 513-563-1480 to get your answers to questions about your home and property. That number again, 513-563-1480. Now, here's Gary.
Play the birthday. There we go. Today we want to celebrate a very special birthday. Officially yesterday was Chris Beersford's birthday. She's our fearless leader, the captain of our ship at RE/MAX Preferred Group. And I'll let Reid do the honors.
We had a party for her yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was great. You and I go back a long way in RE/MAX and a long way in real estate. And we both agree that she's one of the finest in Cincinnati as far as brokerage.
Oh, absolutely.
And the most successful brokerage, RE/MAX in the state of Ohio, which is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And been 20-some years, and just that all up and all the things she does for us. We just wanted to wish her a very special happy birthday.
Yeah.
And of course, that was just the Beatles singing happy birthday off their White Album. You think we ought to sing happy birthday?
Sure. Happy birthday to you,
Chris.
Happy birthday to you,
Chris.
Happy birthday, dear Chris. Happy birthday to you. We should get a band together.
That we should, or at least combine two that we're familiar with.
Well, I'm not a singer.
No, we are on a 7-second delay, and that can be removed.
Well,
right?
yeah. I don't know.
Oh, shoot. We missed that. Oh, well.
Anyhow, well, there
Hopefully
you
she
go.
heard it. Hopefully.
Yeah.
And then hopefully she appreciated it.
All right. And loving thoughts that we gave you on that one. That's right. I'm Gary Rossignol, certified residential specialist, the rock and roll realtor, and your host every Saturday morning right here from 9 until 10 o'clock on WDJO, along with the other rock and realtor. That was Mr. Reid Young. We plan on entertaining you with music, facts, and interesting discussions. But first thing,
Yes.
give some things away.
Let's do it.
That's why people tune in. They want to win.
This is the day we're giving away a new car, right?
Win big. Yeah.
car?
Yeah, new car. Yeah, all right. They can drive their new car and use this card at Starbucks.
Perfect.
There you go.
Couldn't have said it better.
So this is the music trivia, and name the band. This is for a $10 gift card at Starbucks. We'll give away two. The first two winners that call 513-563-1480. And if you haven't won in the past 60 days, then you qualify and can win this morning if you answer this question. Back in 1970, we released a hit single called Ohio. It was written and composed in reaction to the Kent State shooting of May 4th in 1970. 4 students were killed and 9 were wounded. Who are we? You got to name the entire name of the band.
Am I allowed to say?
No.
No. Okay.
You're disqualified. So you can't go 3/4 of the way. You got to name the whole band.
Okay. Well, I can because I can remember playing that song when it came out with the original members of Eden back a few years ago.
Yeah, right. And you guys are rocking it still today.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Same way with Bluestone Ivory.
Yep.
It's the times are changing. Well, you know, the market is different. The social media has taken over in certain aspects. Live performances died 2 years ago. They're just starting to resurface.
Right.
So, but we're getting a little older. We're not doing 40 and 50 gigs a year. We're happy to do 12 or 15. No more 2 one-nighters. Not for this guy. That's a lot of
you
work.
know what I'm doing? I'm doing 3 in a row next month.
And I don't.
And I've got the paramedics on speed dial.
I don't envy you at all. So anyhow, today's topic, one of our topics, and first we want to shout out and today's Armed Forces Day, so we'll be mentioning that throughout the show, and I've got a little commemorative at the end of the show, which we'll play, which is for our veterans and our active members of the armed forces. But the one of the big topics that caught my eye was hire a pro versus asking advice on social media. Now we're all on Facebook and LinkedIn and, and Twitter, and we have a neighborhood website which is for the Westchester, Sharonville, out to Loveland, where neighbors can get on and give advice and ask questions about, the dogs barking in the neighborhood, kids ringing their doorbell at 2:00 in the morning, things of that nature. We just moved in the neighborhood, and they get advice, or, we need a name of a good roofer or somebody put new gutters on. Well, I bring that up because I just had my gutters replaced with the gutter toppers, and thank God. Thank you, Don Snyder, for doing that for me. Now I don't have to clean any gutters.
You don't look forward to the fall and putting
no. And some people would. I don't change the oil in my car, and I don't even cut my grass. I've got a client who has a lawn service, and we were gone yesterday. We got home and the yard looked great. Thank you, Eric Heitman and Lawn Pros. They do a great job.
When we do that, Gary, what we're doing, we're helping other people have their livelihood, and in return, we hope, and usually it's the case, people are helping us, and it keeps the economy going, and it just makes more sense to have somebody who's better qualified at something than we might be.
Mm-hmm.
And what they say, especially people like you and myself, you and me, who are self-employed, is we only have so many hours of the day to do things, and we can be changing our oil, or we can be doing income-producing activities as a realtor that are really more important. And again, it keeps the economy going. It keeps it's just a good. I don't change oil and I don't cut grass, so I'm with you on that.
And no matter what profession you're in, time is valuable, and there's always someone out there that can do it better, quicker, and easier than I can do. I just wanted to paint the upstairs bathroom, so a couple weeks ago on a Sunday late afternoon, I decided, well, I'm going to go and do it. So it took me all afternoon and evening. I got it done. I did an okay job, but when I got done, I thought, well, you know what? I should have just called Terry Metcalf, and he would have come over and knocked it out in half the time, and and would have done a little bit better job than what I did. Okay. I like painting. I don't like cleaning up, and I don't like preparing.
Right. And again, maybe your time, in hindsight, you would have enjoyed it better doing something relaxing, or going to a movie, or going to a concert, or doing something.
I didn't mind it. Just turn the radio on and close the door and paint it away. But but the point of the discussion here is, should you go on social media and ask advice for doing things that there's a lot of do-it-yourself things. You can go to Lowe's or Home Depot, and they have videos to install your own water heater, replace your kitchen vanity, and that type of thing. I just had a vanity put in that bathroom I painted, but I didn't want to do that stuff. So I called the plumber. They came in. They had a flat rate. They installed it. They plumbed it up. It works. It's solid. I didn't. 2 hours later, it was done. And could I have done it? Sure, I would have taken a day or two. I could have called in my brother, and he would have helped. But would he have all the right parts? Would have been plumbed properly? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. And you just don't know.
But the social media part of what you said earlier, it's true. I see it all the time, and because we're realtors, you and I have probably a lot of realtor friends on Facebook that see us, and we see them. And people are always asking, who do you recommend for this? Who do you recommend for that? And sometimes it's just stupid stuff. I mean, it's not even like, who do you hire for carpet or windows or anything? It's just stupid stuff. And I have found, I don't know about you, but, people come to us as a resource, and we usually are a good resource, and we try to be. But I have also had this experience where sometimes I'm hesitant in giving out a recommendation, only because you just never know. Sometimes that recommendation doesn't turn out the way that person expected it to be, or whatever. It just didn't turn out perfectly, and therefore that imperfect experience was kind of because of me, and they take it that way. And now, I'm not saying we don't. We still should be. We give referrals, and we keep track of good people to recommend. But sometimes maybe it backfires on us.
Oh yeah. That's why it's recommended that when we refer home inspectors and mortgage lenders and title companies, we should give 3 names and numbers and let them choose. Then the liability is really off of our shoulders, because what we do, Chris and Miles are responsible for our actions. Ultimately, if we screw up, they're going to. Somebody wants to sue us, which after 33 plus years, I've never been sued or been complained about, but after, if anybody were to come after you or I, they'd be coming after Chris and Miles as well, because they're responsible for what we do. But and another thing, when you're doing it yourself, you stand the risk of injury. And my little promo that went out, Chuck Fee replied back and said, there weren't any particulars in your discussion, but wasn't clear how you get to it, how you get to those top injuries. Well, I've got a list of top injuries from home improvement flubs,
Okay.
And, and things like fractures, punctures, strains, sprains, burns, poisoning, crushing, concussions, lacerations. You get on a ladder or a step stool and just a simple thing like painting a bathroom. I could have slipped off the chair and hit my head on the side of the vanity or something. And if you're not trained, cleaning gutters.
I mean, that's just dangerous, period, for anybody.
Yeah.
And then somebody, in their 50s or 60s is going to get on a ladder who never gets on a ladder or gets on the roof. That's just something they're waiting to happen.
A fellow radio personality on one of the other stations, he does a commercial today where he calls 911. I'm stuck on my roof. That's embarrassing.
You think he will do that again? I mean,
I don't think so.
No.
But he made lemonade out of lemons. I mean, it was embarrassing being stuck on the roof, but now he turned it into a really pretty good commercial.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we're leading up to this discussion, ladies and gentlemen. If you're thinking about selling your house, there's tons and tons of stuff on the internet about let's save the commission. We can sell our house.
Mm-hmm.
Let's for sale by owner it. Well, can you really save money if you are a for sale by owner? Well, yeah, it's possible that avoiding paying for a listing agent, you'll save some money. However, the average for sale by owner home sells for up to 26% less than an agent-assisted homes on the market.
I believe, Gary, that it's just the opposite of what common sense what you would think, or people would think out there listening to us, that because houses are selling at record-breaking, short periods of time, that certainly you don't need anybody to help you do that.
Oh, no, of course
not. But in fact, the ones that are selling at the highest are because of weeks of preparation and pre-marketing and things that the informed agent is doing to make that happen. It's just not a matter of putting a sign in the yard and seeing what happens. There's a method to getting record prices and record time, and what we are seeing is that relatively speaking, there is a low percentage of for sale by owners, probably lower than usual, way lower than usual, and people are realizing that
are successful.
They're successful, exactly. Yeah.
Now you may sell your house, but the big question is, the big but here is, had you used a professional realtor and put it on the multiple listing service, created the buyer frenzy, having 12, 13, 20, 25 offers, getting 20, 30, 40,000 over asking price, had it been priced properly, would you have netted more than the commission that you would have paid initially?
Just because of what we do in our connection, our co-op situation, our coming soons, everything we do with the multiple listing, without that, there is not the possibility of doing what you just described, having that auction situation happen. A individual cannot make that happen. So therefore, they would never know.
They won't know.
Did they get top dollar? But that's okay.
Yeah. I would like to express my gratitude to all our troops, veterans, first responders, and our heroes in service in the healthcare. That would be our nurses and doctors, the nurses' aides, and our healthcare staff. The EMT staff, our police and firefighters. So often they deal with life and death situations, and especially during this pandemic. Thank them and keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And after our break, we're going to have a moment with Miles, and Reid and I will tell you about 8 surprising features that boost your home value. Some of them be a surprise. You're listening to the Rock and Roll Real Estate Hour on WDJO 1480 AM, now on FM 995 and 107.9.
Do you want to sell your home but don't know where to start? Thinking about downsizing, but the process is just too much? Gary Rossignol, real estate pro at RE/MAX Preferred Group and host of the Rock and Roll Real Estate Hour on WDJO, has the answers. Let Gary put his vast real estate knowledge to work for you. Interest rates are at record lows and the real estate market is red hot. Now is a great time to make your move. Call Gary at 513-777-2402. That's 513-777-2402. Licensed in Ohio and Kentucky.
The Temptations, live. And on the same show, iconic music legends, the Righteous Brothers. Blue Eyed Soul meets Motor City Soul. Saturday, June 25th, Rose Music Center at the Heights. The Temptations and the Righteous Brothers together live. Reserve seats on sale now at Ticketmaster.com and RoseMusicCenter.com.
Are you looking for a taste of New Orleans? Then come to Brew River Creole Kitchen. Under the tutelage of Emeril Lagasse, our executive chef Michael Shields has learned the secrets of New Orleans cooking and prepares this area's authentic, locally sourced, made-from-scratch Creole cuisine. Are you planning an event? Brew River can accommodate private parties from 15 to 85, including restaurant rental for 200 guests, making Brew River ideal for small to large special events. Something new at Brew River is a wine retail center. Stop by, pick up a bottle of small production boutique wine by the bottle. Many of these selections are very limited and not widely available. Brew River also has brought back Wine Wednesday with half price on all small production wine by the bottle. For great live entertainment and a taste of New Orleans every Wednesday through Saturday, along with Saturday lunch and Sunday brunch. Make it Brew River Creole Kitchen at Eastern Avenue and online at brewrivercreolekitchen.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Thinking about gas mileage? Quality oil like Mobil 1 Full Synthetic can help you get more out of every mile. Got an older vehicle? Try Mobil 1 Full Synthetic High Mileage. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life oil filter for only $37.99. Get what you need for better fuel efficiency at any of our 6,000 stores or on AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Get on. Let's rock the house.
Hey, thanks for listening and watching on Facebook and now on LinkedIn and Twitter as well. I'm Gary Rossignol, certified residential specialist with RE/MAX Preferred Group, better known as Cincinnati's Rock and Roll Realtor, and I'm with my co-host, the other rock and realtor, Mr. Reid Young. But first, this is the captain of our ship, Mr. Miles Beersford, the other half of Chris Beersford. And this is his moment with Miles. Good morning, Miles.
Hey, Gary and Reid, rock and roll, my friend.
We are doing that.
Good morning.
Good morning. The chief economist for the National Association of Realtors is telling us the worst of the housing shortage is ending, but market equilibrium between supply and demand is still some ways off.
Mm-hmm.
Total housing starts were 1.72 million in April, a 14.6% leap from a year ago. The gain was driven by strong activity in multifamily construction, predominantly apartment buildings. Single-family housing starts fell for the second consecutive month with 1.1 million units. The homes for sale inventory in March was still essentially at an all-time low with less than 1 million homes on the market. Around 1.5 million homes were on the market before the pandemic. As home sales look to trend back to pre-pandemic levels, inventory will not return to pre-pandemic conditions. That means home prices will get pushed even higher in the upcoming months, giving the supply-demand imbalance. And that's this morning's moment with Miles.
Thank you, Miles. Thank you very much. We really appreciate that. some good statistics. And yes, we're seeing the market change a little bit. That's Miles Beersford. He is the captain of our ship at RE/MAX Preferred Group, along with his lovely wife, Christine Beersford, who own and run the top-notch ship, RE/MAX Preferred Group, the greatest RE/MAX brokerage in the entire state of Ohio. And Reid and I are both tickled and very pleased and proud to be part of such a great growing office.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they do a fine job. And I know I kind of was wondering if Miles was going to touch on it, but he didn't go there, so I will.
Perfect.
Today is Armed Forces Day. And Armed Forces Day, we share our unending appreciation for the proud patriots who answer the call to serve, taking the sacred oath to defend our Constitution, the brave members of our Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, Space Force, Coast Guard, and the National Guard and Reserves forces represent the best of our nation. Today and every day, we honor their immeasurable service on behalf of our grateful nation. There's a couple new ones there I'd never heard of. I didn't know about the Space Force.
You've heard about Space Force.
Not until I read this.
Okay.
I went, wow, okay. That's new to me.
It's an up-and-coming force within the military.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So our hats off. We applaud you, and we thank you very much, because what they do for our freedom is, you just can't put a value on that.
That's true. Very true.
It's totally unselfish what they do for us, and we need to thank them all the time. The winner of the trivia question, the answer was Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young.
Not me. It was a different Young.
Yeah. Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Now, they played at Woodstock.
Woodstock, yep.
And Neil Young joined them shortly after that. And Neil Young actually wrote the song Ohio because he was just upset with what happened.
I got to tell you quickly, not to mess up your routine here, but
go.
The song Ohio, when it came out, was about the Kent State shooting by the National Guard, and it was a terrible thing. But coincidentally, that was a song that we did, the original Eden from back in in high school. We played a song when it came out, and it was a very moving situation. And the original players of Eden probably are listening. Ken Sargent and Jim Roll and Bob Roll and Joe Allingham in Florida. They listen to us sometimes on the radio, and wow, it just seems like a few years ago, but it was more than that.
Yeah, it was.
It was more than that.
40-some years ago. That's great. So anyhow, our hats off to our armed forces, and being in the military, there's all kinds of misconceptions over VA loans.
Mm-hmm.
And you've seen it, where a realtor will list a house and they will put in the remarks, no FHA or VA financing.
Especially this last year with the
multiple offers.
Right, and the competition that sellers just kind of rule out. Well, first, they just want cash offers, but then, right. But then at the bottom of the list would be VA and FHA, and really it's not correct. It's a big mistake.
It is
to think that way.
Our veterans, number one, the only reason for the VA loan that's backed by the government is to give back to our military. If you have your DD-214, which means that you are retired from the military, or if you're an active member of the military, you deserve a VA loan, which all that is a zero down payment loan. Now, the rates are comparable. There's no extra paperwork. There's no extra weeks and weeks of sifting through paperwork. There's no extra cost.
Maybe a long time ago, it took a little longer.
Maybe.
But all mortgages now go much faster.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you're completely right. The VA loans, there's no reason not to use them. They're not slow at all nowadays.
And 70% of our veterans and 45% of our active duty members believe a down payment of more than 20% is necessary. the military, they don't know that. So if you are a retired military or an active member of the military and you want to buy a house, you do not have to save up and have 10, 15, 20% down. You qualify for a VA loan, which is 100% financing.
Well, you and I both have sold a lot of homes to veterans with VA loans, and it's such a good program. And I mean, you and I work today with lenders, I mean, who have these loans, and we have them available right now. So
yeah, there
might be somebody listening who thinks, that they need to find out more about this because they really were never informed about their rights and this program that could help them.
And we'll touch on that more in the near future because hopefully I'll have my friend Bob Pape from Polaris Home Funding Corp in here, and we'll talk about that. But another thing that our Marine Corps Scholarship Foundation, May is Military Appreciation Month, and that's to recognize the contributions and sacrifices Marines have made for our nation. This particular gentleman has served with the Marines for 30 years, and thanks to supporters like all of us, in our 60-year history, we have awarded nearly 50,000 life-changing scholarships to children of Marines. These scholarships support the next generation of leaders whose Marine parents instilled in them the values of honor, courage, and commitment. I just thought that was something worth mentioning. And talking about giving back, our own realtors, I mean, the national realtors, the National Association of Realtors, which oversees a couple of million realtors throughout the United States, we have the Realtors Relief Fund, which was a totally voluntary organization. And in 2021, the Realtors Relief Foundation continuing to build up reserves that will allow us to respond immediately, helping people rebound, recover, and rebuild, with every dollar donated going directly to disaster relief. Our local and state realtor associations have given over $3,735,000 in financial housing assistance to victims in the communities, and that's just tremendous. And we donate to that. I do every year, and I'm sure most of us do. That's just those are the little things that the general public, our neighbors who were there to help, our neighbors who want to do it themselves to save on our commission that we rightly deserve, because we'll put more money in their pocket than they'll realize. But these are the little things through the Cincinnati Board of Realtors, which is now called the Alliance Realtors, the Ohio Realtors, the National Association of Realtors. We donate to this, and 100% of every dollar that we donate goes to folks who have suffered in disasters throughout the state of Ohio and around the country.
It's a great program. And,
our neighbors, they don't know that we do that. So since I'm on the radio, I'm preaching to millions and millions of listeners every Saturday morning. Right. I just want to let you all know.
Probably 3/4 of the whole greater Cincinnati area right now.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
As you speak.
They're not cutting their grass right now because they're listening to this show.
That's right.
So there you have it. Real quick, as soon as we come back, we'll talk about, I think these are kind of cute, the surprising features that boost your home value. And I want to mention, if you like the oldies, tune in on Sunday nights at 7 o'clock for John Englehart and the Sunday Soda Shop right here on WDJO. You're listening to the Rock and Roll Real Estate Hour on 1480 AM WDJO, now on FM 995 and 107.9. Are you thinking about selling your home or in the market to downsize but don't know where to start? Hi, this is Gary Rossignol, host of the Rock and Roll Real Estate Hour on WDJO. If you've been asking these questions, call me today for a no-obligation consultation at 513-777-2402. Let me help you transition from where you are to where you want to be. I'm licensed in Ohio and Kentucky. That's 513-777-2402. And don't forget to catch me Saturday mornings from 9 to 10 right here on WDJO.
Honey, I can't get this done. I'll have to call a plumber.
We'll make it Zinn's Plumbing. I've never heard anything but the best about them.
Why's that?
They're a long-time local family-owned firm that I know I can trust.
Zinn's Plumbing? Okay, I'll call them.
Zinn's Plumbing, can I help you?
Yes, I hope so. My wife gave me strict orders to call only you.
Well, we appreciate that. We do try to be the best plumbing firm in town, and we've been at it close to 40 years now.
Well, how do you charge? Do I get a shock when I see the bill?
With Zinn's Plumbing, you'll always know how much a job will cost before we start. We bill on a flat rate basis, not an inefficient hourly billing system.
How soon can I get service?
Usually on the same day. We work within a 2-hour time frame.
That sounds great.
Zinn's Plumbing is great. Ask anyone who knows. Call them at 513-681-2501. 681-2501.
Take a step back away from the hurried life you live today and relax. Take a stroll through the Covered Bridge Antique Mall. For the past 29 years, Covered Bridge Antique Mall has been the go-to shop for treasure and bargain hunters from the tri-state and beyond. Beautiful antiques, jewelry collectibles, and one-of-a-kind items. Covered Bridge Antique Mall, a truly unique shopping experience. 7508 Hamilton Avenue, in the heart of historic Mount Healthy. 513-521-6739, or visit their Facebook page. Covered Bridge Antique Mall is open Tuesday through Sunday, 10 till 5, closed Monday, following all state recommended safety guidelines.
At CDW, we get the right workspace helps you work better.
It took 3 encyclopedias, but my webcam is finally at the right height. And I found the perfect cardboard box for my tangled assortment of cords and cables.
Sounds great, but with TripLite Work from Anywhere solutions orchestrated by CDW, it's easier for your teams to work consistently and productively with tools like monitor mounts, USB docks, and adapters.
Know anyone who wants 3 encyclopedias from 1992?
IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/TripLite.
Here we go. I'm excited about today's music history because back on 1955 on this day, Chuck Berry recorded Maybelline at the Universal Recording Studios in Chicago, Illinois. The song, adapted in part from the Western swing fiddle tune Ida Red, is said to be one of the first rock and roll songs. The track became Berry's debut single release in July of this year, where it peaked at number 5 on the U.S. chart. Today in 1966, the Castiles, with Bruce Springsteen on vocals, appeared at the Freehold Regional High School in New Jersey. They were performing at their own high school for the very first time. All 5 members of the band were juniors at Freehold High School. Sound familiar, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. The trivia question answer on this day in 1970. Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young released the protest single Ohio, written and composed by Neil Young in reaction to the Kent State shootings of May 4th of 1970, when the unarmed college students were shot by the Ohio National Guard. The guardsmen fired 67 rounds over a period of 13 seconds. Whoa! Killing 4 students and wounding 9 others, and one of whom suffered permanent paralysis. On this day, back in 1971, Marvin Gaye released his 11th studio album, What's Going On? The concept album, consisting of 9 songs, tells a story from the point of view of a Vietnam veteran returning to the country he had been fighting for and seeing only hatred, suffering, and injustice. What's Going On is regarded as one of the landmark recordings of pop music history and one of the greatest albums of the 20th century.
To bring some loving here today.
On this day, back in 1983, David Bowie went to number 1 on the U.S. singles chart with Let's Dance, featuring blues guitarist Stevie Ray Vaughan. I didn't know that. It was Bowie's first single to reach number 1 on both sides of the Atlantic. The music video was made by David Mallet on location in Australia, including a bar in Carinda in New South Wales, featuring Bowie playing with his band while impassively watching an Aboriginal couple struggles against metaphors of Western cultural imperialism. On this day back in 1988, Wet, Wet, Wet and Billy Bragg were at number 1 on the UK singles chart with A Little Help from My Friends and She's Leaving Home. The two Beatles songs had been recorded for the Childline charity. Sales of the single, which spent 4 weeks at number 1 on the UK chart, were over $743,000, all of which was donated to Childline. And no, this is not the Beatles. This is Wet, Wet, Wet. On this day back in 2006, Madonna played the first of 3 sold-out nights at the Los Angeles Forum in California, the first dates of her Confessions tour. The 60-date tour grossed over, get this, $260 million, becoming the highest-grossing tour ever for a female artist. Born on this day back in 1947, Bill Champlin. He's an American singer, musician, arranger, producer, and songwriter. He formed the band Sons of Champlin back in 1965. Remember them?
Sure do.
Which is still performing today. And he was also a member of the band Chicago from 1981 to 2009. He performed lead vocals on 3 of Chicago's biggest hits in 1984's Hard Habit to Break, the 1988 Look Away, and I Don't Want to Live Without Your Love. He has won multiple Grammy Awards for songwriting, and rightfully so. What a talented gentleman, and he was a credit to the band Chicago, my favorite band in the whole world. So there you go. I had a blast researching all this information to bring it to you this morning. I hope you had fun with it. And speaking of Chicago, if you would like to hear Bluestone Ivory, we play Chicago just about darn as good as Chicago does.
Don't let Chicago hear that.
You can hear us at Keener Park on July the 9th. We'll be at Sunset Beach Bar and Grill on the July 30th. August the 5th, we'll be at Coney Island with J.D. Hughes. And on August 14th, Arlington Memorial Gardens Cemetery. Go to bluestoneivory.com. We'll also be at Deerfield Township, Bridgewater Falls this summer. And how about Eden? Where are you guys going to be coming up?
Oh, of course, you asked me without my papers in front of me. We're going to be at Deer Park concert in June, as well as Montgomery. It's Montgomery Presbyterian Church. They have a great concert series.
And we both got some private things in
right,
between.
Right, some private things and Latitudes. That's in July. And 4th of July in Montgomery, too. We've been doing that for a number of years. The big park concert,
cool.
Very the old-fashioned 4th of July celebration kind of
there
thing.
You go.
Community.
And we've got our tickets. We're going to Air Supply, Frankie Valley, Tower of Power, Chicago with Brian Wilson. So we're going to have a music-filled summer.
We're going to live it up this summer.
That's right. You bet. So let's see. I want to touch on. Here we go. These are kind of cute. 8 surprising features that boost your home value.
Okay.
I got this off of Active Rain, which is a blog. It's a realtor society for bloggers, and again, they ask for advice and they give advice and they write different. This one was kind of cute, caught my eye. Of course, in being realtors, it's location. Well, price has a lot to do with it and condition,
right.
But location. And number 1 on the 8 surprising features to boost your home value is
drum roll. Sorry.
Buy a house near Starbucks. No kidding, it's on the list.
Which could be about anywhere nowadays, right? Isn't there a Starbucks?
That's right.
About on every corner.
Speaking of Starbucks, our winners today was Tim Dunn and Jane Banfield. We'll get a $10 gift card to Starbucks because they guessed the trivia question answer was Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. And Young, not just
Young.
Yeah, it had to be and Young.
A Young, not the Young.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Number 2 on the list was painting your bathroom light blue can boost the home's sale by $4,600.
I would have never thought that.
Me neither.
I mean, right? Everything we are taught is about neutral and, but.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Here's a good one.
I like pink tiles. I don't know about you, but that's another show. Go ahead.
This is a good one. Your neighbor's lawn. Now, Bill and Sue across the street, they cut their grass twice a week.
Mm-hmm. Make you
sometimes 3.
Right.
And we're lucky if Eric comes out every 7 to 10 days. But our yard looks great. But your neighbor's lawn can make a difference in the value of your home.
Right. People are driving down the street, coming to see a house, and if the houses around them don't look right, especially if a next door neighbor isn't taking care of it, you would say no, thank you.
New light switch and outlet covers. Oh, that's that's a do-it-yourself thing that you really can't get hurt on just replacing the light switch covers. Yeah.
Unless your screwdriver slips.
You could do that and cut your finger.
You could.
So you might want to leave that up to a professional.
There you go.
A handyman or something. There you go. New bathroom caulk. Of course, that's
way up there at the top of the list.
Oh,
near the top of the list.
That should be before living near Starbucks.
Mm-hmm.
Tightening doorknobs and hinges. Yes. Worst thing in the world is to close a door and not the closet doors. You close it and it pops open, and you close it and it doesn't latch, and the doorknobs. Now, I don't get number 8. A treehouse. A treehouse.
Is it good or bad?
Says. Finally, adding a treehouse to your home's property boosts both your sense of fun and your bottom line. Homes with this kid-friendly feature sell for 2.2% more than expected, according to Zillow. Well, that says it all, according to Zillow.
Check your references.
Yeah, we don't,
there you go.
Trust Zillow that much, do we?
Nah.
All right, so what's going on in the Cincinnati market? I'd like to thank Karen Schlosser for supplying these facts. This past week, we had 964 new listings, and pendings were 642. We had 540 closings, and we had over 12,000 showings in the city of the Cincinnati area. Dayton area home sales are very similar. I got a report on that. Had modest gains continued to be made in April on home prices in the Dayton area. Dayton's just right up the street.
We are growing together. We're going to be one city.
Yep. So if a home sits on the market for more than a few days,
flush it. You're done.
Dead in the water. That's right.
You're
in
done.
Today's market.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm going to be very interested. We have a house went on the market right across the street from where I live. Beautiful ranch home that sits on a busy street. I'm not going to name the street. I saw the photos. It's a gorgeous home, but they listed it for $499, and I'm telling you, Reid, I don't think it's going to get $4.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're $100,000. My own personal opinion, knowing my neighborhood, they're $100,000 overpriced, but sellers are saying, hey.
But you would love for that to happen, though, wouldn't you?
Oh,
just bring everybody's value up.
I don't think it's going to happen. They were coming soon for 4 days, and yesterday it was active, and there was one showing scheduled.
Well, right there says it.
Yeah.
If people aren't coming to look at it, they are assessing that it's very overpriced, or they'd be looking at it.
Yep. Yep. And I'm going to be leaving here, going to right across the river to a little town in Covington, look at a rehab home. Buyer thinks that they can get it cash for $20,000 less than they're asking. Although talked with a listing agent yesterday, and it's going to take $60,000 to $70,000 just to make it worth $150,000. And so I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, but in today's crazy market,
anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
That's right. So if you want to know a little bit more about the market, if you're thinking of selling or just want to know the value of your home, call me. I am a realtor. Mary Jo and I are the Rock and Roll Real Estate team, and you can reach us at 513-777-2402, or go to my new website, which is RockinCincy. That's RockinCincy.com. You can go to my search tabs. You can put in the criteria you're looking for, either in Greater Cincinnati or Northern Kentucky, and it will search and let you know what's available in your criterias, price ranges, and whatnot, and it'll email you with updates. And so there you go. I'm real happy with the way the new website turned out. So we need to go away for our last break. When we come back, we're going to have a visit with Bill Kerrigan of the Dragonfly Foundation. You've been listening to the Rock and Roll Real Estate Hour on WDJO 1480 AM, now on FM 99.5 and 107.9.
Do you want to sell your home but just don't know where to start? Are you thinking about downsizing, but the process is just too much? Gary Rossignol, real estate pro at RE/MAX Preferred Group and host of the Rock and Roll Real Estate Hour, has the answers. Let Gary put his vast real estate knowledge to work for you. Interest rates are at record lows. The market is red hot. Now is a great time to make your move. Call Gary, 513-777-2402. 513-777-2402. Licensed in Ohio and Kentucky, 513-777-2402.
Jackson Brown. Live in concert in Cincinnati. Jackson Brown at the Andrew J. Brady Music Center, Friday, June 24th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com and BradyMusicCenter.com. The Grammy-nominated album Downhill from Everywhere is available now. Check more at JacksonBrown.com.
Are you faced with a big repair on your vehicle? I may have the solution. Hi, I'm Robert Nolan of John Nolan Auto Service. You won't have to worry about your ability to pay for your next repair with our 100-day, no-interest financing with Snap Finance. No credit, bad credit, never a problem, and most of all, no credit check. So if you're hearing strange noises coming from your transmission, that grinding noise is getting louder and louder, just call us at John Nolan Auto Service at 859-261-8833, and we'll guide you through the process. Peace of mind payments with Snap Finance is another reason more people have chosen to trust their vehicle repairs to John Nolan Auto Service. John Nolan Auto Service is conveniently located in Newport, Kentucky. Call us and set up your appointment at 859-261-8833 today.
Learn how thousands of smart homeowners are investing about $1 to avoid expensive home repair bills. John, a former non-customer, said, "My air conditioner broke and I had to spend $1,900 to fix it." Jeff, a customer, wrote, "My air conditioner broke and I got a new one at no out-of-pocket cost." Mary, a former non-customer, wrote, "My heating system stopped running. I had to spend $3,000 to get a new one." Lisa, a customer, wrote, "My heater stopped working. I got it fixed at no out-of-pocket cost." For about $1 a day, you can have all the major appliances and systems in your home guaranteed fixed or replaced with HSC's home warranty coverage. Call now, and the first month is free. If the lines are busy, please call back. 800-882-2092. 800-882-2092. That's 800-882-2092. 800-882-2092.
Get on. Let's rock the house.
Hey, you're listening to the Rock and Roll Real Estate Hour with yours truly, Gary Rossignol. I'm your senior real estate specialist, along with my co-host, Reid Young. We're both with RE/MAX Preferred Group. Now, the Dragonfly Foundation supports pediatric cancer families and patients by building a network that connects Dragonfly families to each other and the community, providing programs that enhance quality of life, enhancing programs and partner with Cincinnati Children's Hospital. This gentleman, bless his heart, he's on the board of directors of Dragonfly Foundation. He is their number one cheerleader and their number one fan for years. I like to call him my friend because he is, and this is Mr. Bill Kerrigan. Good morning, Bill.
Hey, Gary, how are you?
We are doing great. We are rocking and rolling this morning, my friend.
You're rocking. You sound good.
Thank you. So let's see, the Dragonfly Foundation, just so our listeners know, I'm sure they're aware of it, but what sets the Dragonfly Foundation apart from all the other nonprofits out there?
Well, Gary, there's a lot of good nonprofits out there, a lot of great ones. And I'd like to think that the Dragonfly Foundation is on that list. We do some amazing work behind the scenes while families are dealing with diagnoses of pediatric cancer, and families are uprooted from wherever they're from. They have to get to Cincinnati Children's Hospital or Dayton Children's Hospital for immediate treatment to get the cancer under control. That really throws the family for a loop, as you can imagine, not just the parents who are worried and may have to take a furlough from their jobs, but the siblings who are uprooted from summer activities. And our role is to try to bring some normalcy and some support, financial support, but also things like supplies that they're going to need while they are uprooted and away from their homes, things they would have never thought to bring to Cincinnati Children's Hospital. We're there with a big blue bag and a big smile on our faces, and then we're going to provide support in terms of just things like gift cards for meals or for gasoline or for groceries at Kroger. We're going to provide things like Cincinnati Reds tickets and tickets to the circus and tickets to the Globetrotters to give the families something to do, to get away, to enjoy an experience together while they're going through a very difficult time. And we really salute the other nonprofits that are out there looking for a cure for cancer. But while they're seeking a cure, we're going to take care of the families that are dealing with their new reality.
That says it all wrapped up in a nice big with a red ribbon on it. That's great. Thank you very much for explaining that, Bill. The fundraising is a non-ending job, and that's what you and your volunteers, which the Dragonfly Foundation is run on about 95% volunteers, correct?
No doubt about it. We have very, very small but very effective full-time staff. That's just a handful of people, Gary. The rest of it is done by volunteers, people like you and me, who go out to support events, to advertise events. For example, the last weekend in July and then the first weekend in August, we need a lot of volunteers to help us man a game tent at the Glears Geta Fest down at Newport on the Levee.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to run that and operate that tent both weekends, Thursday through Sunday, numerous shifts a day. We need 7 people per shift, and that is such an easy way to, grab one of your kids or grab your entire family or grab a group of coworkers and take over a shift. It's right there on our website. You just go to dragonfly.org. You click on the events page, and you're going to see both in the July calendar and in the August calendar, the Glears Geta Fest, and you can sign up right there to be a volunteer. And, we expect to make around $15,000 over the 2 weekends. And, Gary, you know the Dragonfly Foundation well enough. What can we do with $15,000?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. Got an idea, Reid. Why don't we get a group of RE/MAX agents to go down and do a shift?
Sure.
Yeah.
You'd have an absolute blast.
Yeah.
You're going to see a lot of our pediatric cancer families, and then you're just going to see a lot of kids in the general public and coming in to have some fun and play some games.
There you go. Yeah, we'll go down there and show off our red, white, and blue balloon. There you go. So another thing you can do is gift cards is something that you're always in a dire need for, and I recommend that you go to Kroger's, use your Kroger's Community Rewards card to buy a gift card of any amount for any restaurant or gas station, and it's a double whammy. You're going to get the gasoline points from Kroger's. You're going to, if you assign the Kroger Community Rewards to Dragonfly, they'll get a little bit of that. So, and if you're listening right now, you can help by just text the word WINGS15 to 71777. A very secure website will open up, and you can donate just as little as $5. Every $5 adds up to be $50 and $100, and I'll tell you what Bill just said, what they can do with a small amount of money is tremendous. So There you go. Thanks, Bill. Thanks for calling in. We had a great show. Thanks, Reid, for coming down and co-hosting with me today. Remember, I am a realtor. I am a certified residential specialist, also a military relocation professional, and a senior real estate specialist. I'm here to help you. So just call me at 513-777-2402. Don't forget to hug your kids, call your parents, and kiss your spouse every day. Wash your hands constantly, and let's just stay safe out there. Next, stepping into the studio live on the Car Tech Show is Wesley Adams and Max Gunderman. You don't want to leave now. And in honor of Armed Forces Day, I would like to dedicate this to our brave military, active and retired. This is Lee Greenwood's version of God Bless the USA, performed by Bluestone Ivory.
Her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota, the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I'm gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I'm gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Love this land. God bless the USA.
Thanks for another great show.
Yeah,
And if
thank
you have
you.
any
Thank you
real
very
estate
much.
question, just call me at 513-777-2402 or go to rockandrollrealestateagent.com. Thanks to all my sponsors who make this show possible, as well as Chris and Miles Beersford, brokers of RE/MAX Preferred Group. A special thanks to WDJO station manager Gary Stevens and my producer Dan Gettelfinger. I would also like to shout out to all my clients, friends, family, fans of Bluestone Ivory, the Dragonfly Foundation, and especially my wife Mary Jo. Until next week, keep knocking on my rockin' houses. So long for now.
The preceding program was a paid program. Its views and opinions expressed are not necessarily those of this station or its management.
WDJO